Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm that Mopar racing guy, and today I'm going to be doing an oil change on the Redeye. I'm just past 6,000 miles on the Redeye, which means I need an oil change and a tire rotation. There are some really good videos by Work Play Drive that cover the oil change in detail, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just link it in the description. But I do want to show you a couple of cool little parts that he also recommends in his video that are very useful for any type of oil change on these Hellcats or Challengers, anything from what is it, 2010 and up, I believe. The first thing you really need in order to get the car lifted up with a jack are these. They go over the side sills on the bottom. Right now the Challenger doesn't have a really good lifting spot, so if you go in there with the jack and you start jacking up on it, it kind of mashes the side skirts, and they'll bow out because they're just plastic. And if you keep doing it over time, they'll get stuck, bowed out. So if you get these things that the weld for the body goes right here, and then it attaches with two Allen bolts here, and you could just leave them on, and every time you go to raise the car up with the jack, you can just put it on the bottom of this, push the car up, and then slide your jack stand up under. They're really almost a necessity for these Challengers. The other thing I got, which is highly recommended if you're going to be doing your own oil changes, it's a pretty cheap product, but man, it's a time saver. This is a Fuimoto oil drain plug, and the way it works is it's a little ball valve in here. So you replace your stock oil plug with this thing, and then what happens is when you flip this lever, it drains the oil. You don't have to take the drain plug out, so there's no chance of stripping those threads and replacing an oil pan. You can just get up under there, flip the thing, it drains the oil out, release the valve, and you're done. Then you just fill the oil back up. It's really, I think this was I want to say it was $25, 100% worth it. That's almost the same cost as just a replacement drain plug. So definitely get that product. A couple other things I got to help me out with the oil change are these little, they were like $3 at Amazon. They're little clip removers. I have one for Toyota style plugs, which are like a golf tee shape, but the ones on the Challenger have this recessed part where they actually go inside, and you need kind of like a screwdriver. I'm sure you've all seen it, and that tool doesn't work so well for those. So I'm thinking this one here will work good to get into that little slot to pop it up. And then finally, as you can see behind me, I don't have a front plate on the car. I don't particularly like to run a front plate on the car. I think it ruins the look, but Washington state law says I have to, so I'm going to run it whenever I can. So I got a front license plate mount for the car, and some just some simple cheap license plate brackets. There's two of these. This is the show and stow. You can see it there. There's two types you can get. There's one that goes on the bottom here, right there. I don't want to get that one because when you put the plate that mounts it up underneath, you decrease your ground clearance, and it's a sports car, so you know, ground clearance and all, but it's really low to the ground. You start scraping it on stuff when you go into driveways or if you're at the track. And plus, when the license plate covers this lower grill, you're blocking your airflow. Now you're going to take it off if you go to the track, but you know, when you're driving, you know, it's something, you know, to be conscious of. So I got the one that mounts right here, and then the license plate is here. That's where the stock mounting position is, except this one, as you can see, it mounts here, and the license plate is up here, so you don't actually drill any holes in the bumper. And there's just a little clip to remove it if you want to go to a car show or go to the track, or whatever reason you need to go to a car wash or whatever. So that's it. I'm going to do this oil change. I'll link the description, or I'll link the Work Play Drive channel that goes into super detail on this. The only real difference between an oil change on this thing and an oil change on a regular car is that you've got all this underpinning stuff down here you got to take off. A lot of cars don't have that. And then there's an oil cooler where you got to also drain that. You got to make sure to get all the oil out. So you know, you got your normal oil pan, but you got your oil cooler that's going to have some oil in it. So you got to get all of it out. But that's it. It's really not that complicated. A little update on the track day. I'm looking for September. I got to get some funds together after this, and I'm probably going to go in early September. I was kind of waiting for a friend to confirm that he was going to go on the same day, but he's got to study for a big exam he's got, so I'm not going to be able to go with him, unfortunately. But I'll just do one on my own at a closer track to here. It's a little cheaper too, so hopefully that means maybe first 2 weeks of September I'll have some good track footage for y'all. Anyhow, I'm going to go into a time lapse, and if you feel like sticking around to watch a guy change his oil in his Redeye, you know, please do so. But otherwise, thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time. Alright guys, all done. Probably took me an hour or so. Wasn't that big of a deal. It's pretty warm out though, so kind of sweating a little bit. So I don't know how well the stop motion is going to turn out, because I had it sitting at the end of the driveway, and about a quarter of the way through I realized you guys can't really see what's going on under the car. All you're doing is staring at my junk while I'm laying there in the driveway loosening drain bolts and stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm going to post that. Maybe I'll shorten it down to like as far as I can go, because I don't know if it's going to be very interesting. But one of the things you probably couldn't see was when I pulled off that oil cooler cover, the little plastic shield, there are 5 clips like this, and the oil cooler shield fits in there, and this screw goes through it, and it connects. This is the mechanism that connects the front air dam splitter shield to the oil cooler shield, and then behind that, further towards the rear of the vehicle, is the under shield where the oil pan is. Well, the oil cooler shield, the little holes have been stripped out, 4 out of 5 of them. So I have the screws here. I didn't really want to lose them driving down the road and have one in a tire or something. I think it's going to be just fine. That shield is held in by, I want to say, 8 clips and 2 screws, and that's not including these. I still have 1 screw in that's not part of those 2 screws. So I'll probably think about fixing this with like some JB Weld plastic or something. But I'm not sure. It's one of those things where you're gonna drive it and see if it's worth fixing. But I got the oil change, got the Fuimoto oil plug in, got the new oil filter in, got 7 quarts in of 0W40 synthetic. Got the tires rotated. I checked the brakes real quick while I was in there. I got plenty of pad left, but that's to be expected with 6,000 miles. Even when you're driving it kind of hard, you shouldn't go through brake pads that quick. Got the license plate bracket on in the rear, and the license plate bracket and the show and stow mount on the front. So I think I'm done for the day. So all I got to do is give you guys a start up and pull it out of the garage. So here we go. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you next time.